Good morning, everybody. Stephen here with Haste Draft Horses and Mules, and welcome to the podcast, Harness Up. I know it's been a while. We've been off about a month. We've been kind of busy, but we're glad to be back, and we've got a lot of exciting podcasts coming for you all. And the first one I want to start out with is this young man sitting right here. And we're here in Billings, Montana this morning. And I'm sitting down here in downtown at this saddle shop, and I want to let him tell you who he is and exactly what they do here, and y'all are going to be real interested in what he's got to say.
Perfect. Well, thanks, Stephen, for having me.
Yes, sir. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, this is great. My name is Bo Wagner. We're here at Connolly Saddlery in Billings, Montana. This is a family-owned store, and actually it's been around since 1912. And the Connolly's family started it back then. They progressed through the years, and then our family took it over and bought it from the Connolly's family in 95. And so we've owned it for almost 30 years now, and it's been great. And there's not very many of us small family-owned Western stores, saddlery, shops anymore. Yeah. And so there's very few of us, but it's exciting. So I'm glad that you guys came in and we got to meet.
The reason I'm here, a lot of y'all may have seen on the YouTube Live. I know a lot of y'all may watch our YouTube too. I was driving down the road in Liberty there at home on a team of horses, and my hat flew off. And I only wear American hats because I like them so much. They fit right and they're good for my head. And so I was out here in Montana, and I still hadn't got a new hat. And I said, I've got to find a new straw hat. And I got on Google and typed in American hats for sale in Montana, and it showed up this fella. And I said, we're going to go there and find me a new hat. Walked in, found my hat. He shaped it for me. I was out of here like that, and it was great. So I got me a new hat. So some people said that I lost that hat. It was an excuse to get a new one.
Hey, sometimes you need that, though.
I didn't want a new one. You know how it is when you get a hat and
I know.
You get it broke in, and it's just your hat.
It's just right.
Even how it gets dented up here up top and weak, and you know where to feel. It's crazy. But I got a new hat. So, and he shaped it. He looked right at my another one I had and fixed it right like I like it. So good deal. But we're here in Billings this morning, and you know what today is, don't you?
9/11.
That's right.
Yep.
So today's a day to remember. Where was you in 9/11?
I was actually working in a sports marketing company in Charlotte, North Carolina.
You was back east.
Yep. I was sitting at the office and went across the street and to a Walgreens and bought a small TV so we could all watch it. So, how about you?
I was in 9th grade at Placer County High School in Kentucky in history.
Oh, wow.
And that's when we seen it on TV. They pulled it up for us. Let's do a moment of silence just for the victims and all the heroes of 9/11. Let's do that for them. Yep, that was a shocking day. But now we can look back on it. So that's.
Yeah, I was watching the news this morning, just replaying the videos, and boy, just absolutely tragic. And
well, you're here in the heart of Western country.
Oh man,
this is the West.
Yes.
So you got these saddles I'm looking at back here. I want to know about these. Let's talk about your saddles.
Yeah. So like I said before, the store started in 1912 as kind of a leather shop, harness shop. They started making saddles then as well. And it progressed throughout the years. It was actually Connolly's brothers that kind of started this whole thing. So over the 112 years of the store, there's been 4 stamps of the Connollys. And when we bought the store in 95, Connolly's was not making saddles, and they hadn't for several years at that point. And so that was one of the things that we wanted to bring back. And so we spent several years interviewing and finding the right saddle maker that would fit our team, We wanted to ensure that it was, Herman Oak, all leather. We wanted to make sure, we were hand tooling. It was nothing by machine. And so we spent a lot of time and put that effort in. And so we've got the fourth stamp of the Connolly's, official handmade saddle over since 1912. So it's been very good. We've got several trees that we put the saddles on. We do, we try to keep a fair amount of saddles in stock.
I see that.
But we do, the majority of ours is custom. And
are you building these mainly for the rodeo industry, or mainly is it just a huge mix?
It's all over the place, because we've got a ranch association, we've got a Will James, we've got a Wade, and then we do have a Roper, we've got a Light All Around. Our barrel saddles, we've actually we hand designed our barrel tree. Okay. And so it's an exclusive. That tree can only come from us, and it's been great. Over here we've got pictures. We've been a part of the WPRA, the Women's Professional Rodeo Association. They have a program called the Saddle Rotation Program, and so what that is every qualifier that goes to the NFR gets a saddle. Okay. And so there's only a handful of saddle makers in the country that are able to participate in that, and we've been fortunate to do that for several years. And it's a cool program that we get to have.
That's awesome. That is great. Sorry about that, guys. We had to pause for a minute. He had a customer come in, but we're back, so don't worry about that. I don't really remember before we was.
I think we were just finishing up on the WPRA and that saddle program. So the saddles are a big deal to us, and providing that quality and fit for the horse and for the rider. But
the young man that came in was over there looking at us. What's going on with that?
Yeah, so it's a summer youth association called the YRA, and we've been a partner and sponsor with them for years. But we do their trophy saddles for their year-end winners. Okay. And he was actually getting a pair of boots, but realized their banquet is next week, and we finished up their saddle, so he got a sneak peek at his championship saddle.
His dad said he cheated. You think?
Yeah.
He was actually sitting on it, but we won't say no more than that. But that's good that you support all that stuff with your saddles, and it's really good. Them young kids are the future of this industry.
Completely, and there's several of them. We've been fortunate to be involved with several different associations and organizations, and part of what's neat is a lot of them, they get to customize their saddle the way they want, instead of it just being a standard. We let them pick, what tooling do you want? What type of seat do you want? You want your initials on it? Do you want your name on it? And so it's been really neat over the years, and we've got a couple of books over here of just how they design it. It's cool, because some of these kids, that'll be their only saddle they may ever have, and then we have some, they've got 5, 6, 7 of ours. And
I guess it's the difference in the families, how much money they got.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so it's cool, and we're privileged to be a part, especially in those youth associations, because you're exactly right. Those are our future. It starts in the youth, goes to high school, college, and then whether they go on and get their pro card or not, it doesn't matter. But that's still the foundation to be a part. And and that's especially around here. There's so many family ranches. That these are 4th, 5th, 6th generation ranches around here, and to have their kids come in and, oh, hey, I know my dad has that Will James saddle you guys made for him, and I'd like one too, and so it's neat to just continue on and support that.
You've got that type person, you've got that customer, the long life, generation type customer.
Yep.
But in the past 4 or 5 years,
yep.
You know what I'm getting ready to get into.
Yep.
I've seen it in our industry, major.
Yep.
Something's going on.
Completely, and we've seen it throughout the decades of, the movie Urban Cowboy comes out, and then 8 Seconds comes out, and this season of time, it's the Yellowstone craze. And now, good or bad, whether you like it or you don't like it, the amount of money that it's created in the economy, especially in a Montana. Now, there's been some negative connotations to that as well, don't get me wrong, but the hype of wanting to be a cowboy, to wanting to be a John Dutton or a Rip or whatever, and we have people walk through the door like, look, I know nothing about anything, but when I leave here, I want to look like John Dutton. Like, okay.
Do you see a lot of Rips walk in?
There's a few. There's a few. So it's interesting to see that change. But here's the deal. It's good for the Western way of life, and the rodeo craze right now. Ticket sales for a PBR bull riding or a rodeo, they're higher than they've ever been in the last couple of years.
Jacoy Hale,
yeah,
young rider,
yeah,
did a podcast with him.
Yeah,
I actually met one of his relatives in Connolly, Arizona.
Oh, no kidding.
And he kind of turned me on to Jacoy and said, do a podcast with this young man.
Oh, funny.
And we went to Louisville, Kentucky, stayed at the Hyatt, and went to the PBR event and did a podcast with him.
Yeah.
And I was like, that ticket is very expensive. Actually going up tomorrow, the next day, to do one with Dakota Lewis.
Oh yeah,
up in Browning.
Yeah.
So
it's funny with Hale. So I partnered with Ty Murray on his event in Albuquerque.
Okay.
We did that for 25 years, and every year was very important for Ty to do an invite.
And Jacoy got invited.
Exactly. And
Jacoy,
it launched him.
We're talking about you if you're listening, buddy.
Yeah, so it's very, very cool to now watch him, and now he's on part of the PBR teams, and
he is such a good kid. Like that boy is.
I don't know him, so I wasn't able to meet him.
He's my friend.
But that's
text him. We text back and forth. He's a good kid.
Yeah,
you ought to listen to his podcast on it.
I will do that now.
Where he come from and where he's at now. It's really good.
That's awesome.
That's
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you got your saddles. We know you got American hats.
Yep.
What else here? What's something different here you sell that people may want to come look at?
It's we carried honcho boots for years. They got bought out and got shut down. So we became acquaintances with Randy Watson.
I see the boots.
Yeah, and Randy, he was president and ran Justin Boots for 40 plus years.
Yep.
And then he started his own, and I flew down and met with those guys, and we wanted something of quality, and so for them to provide an all leather, it's a handmade, it's got a steel shank in it, it's a great boot, and so that fit our realm here, because we want to try to provide products that are going to last, that are when products get put to the test, they can be, when you're 4 miles from the ranch house out in the hills, moving bulls or finding heifers or whatever it might be, you got to have something that's going to work. You don't want something that's going to break. You don't want that chin strap break or your cinch, your latigo, whatever it might be. Mm-hmm. And so we want to make sure that what goes out of our store is quality. And so we found that with Watson boots. Obviously, we found it with American hats, and that's why we started creating our own saddles again, because we wanted something of quality.
It's so crazy, man, like being out here. I come out here a lot.
Yeah.
I'm used to this area. I know the people. I love it. I love the lifestyle. I appreciate it more than anything.
Yeah.
It takes one tough rancher to make it out here.
Oh, man. Yeah, you ain't a kidding.
I mean, it's so different. Like back home, it still blows my mind. we was driving out. We drove this time instead of flew.
Okay.
I'm going through Wyoming on 90.
Yep.
And I see all this land on both sides of the road. And I see these cows in the middle of sagebrush and nothing but brown grass. And I just can't grasp my brain. How is that cow living?
Yeah.
But I talked to a guy at Western Ranch yesterday.
Yeah.
And he said, you wouldn't believe it. He said, that brown grass, a few bites of that has so much more protein for that cow than your pretty green grass back east.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a whole different, really ecosystem to a certain degree up here, and obviously it takes a heck of a lot more acreage to run, your cow-calf versus where you're at in Kentucky and, in any of those southern, even in Texas.
Oh yeah, but like back home, you got a 100-acre farm. This farmer, see back home it's farmers, not ranchers.
Sure.
You don't have no ranches. That farmer back home with 100 acres has a huge piece of land, and he is a top dog.
Sure.
Out here, 100 acres ain't nothing.
No, you're a hobbyist. Yeah.
I was in Three Forks one time with a customer of mine. He's passed away now. Super good guy. You know where the Buffalo Jump is?
Yep.
And the Tobacco Roots.
Yep.
One of my favorite places in Montana. Mark it down. That is those Tobacco Root Mountains. I love them.
Yeah.
Me and him was riding mules along the highway. He said, "Down there's my hayfield, Stephen." I said, "Wow." That's 200 acres alfalfa. I stopped that mule. I said, "Let's stop for a minute here. That's 200 acres?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "There ain't no way. You cannot look at 200 acres at once back home.
Yeah.
You
Sure.
can't.
Sure.
Out here, you can look at thousands at once.
Yeah.
It's just the difference in the place. But
Yeah.
going back to quality, you ranchers and stuff out here, you use cattle. And you use horses to work cattle.
Yeah.
Back home, they don't do that.
Sure. Sure.
The farmer gets on his side beside his four-wheeler and goes and gets it done.
Yeah.
It's a different lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Western stores back home, we got a good Western store in Nicholasville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Shout out to Luke at the boot store. Thank you, buddy. They're cool people.
Yeah.
I support them. It's a whole different world.
Sure. Sure.
They're selling to those weekenders that want to go to Keeneland and kind of look like a cowboy at the horse race.
Yeah.
Or the Yellowstone guy that wants to be that.
Yep. Yep.
Out here, you're selling to a whole different type person.
Yeah, it is. And obviously there's some tourists and there's some folks in Billings that wouldn't know the front end of a horse. And that's okay.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
And that's part of it. And we have some folks come in and aren't knowledgeable in that, and that's fine. That's part of why we're here.
To help them.
Because we want to help educate, because agriculture is our #1 industry in the state, and it is by far. And so the way to continue that is to educate and promote, and that's what we want to do in our little niche.
Like we do clinics, teach people how to drive horses.
Sure.
We did one here in March at Miller's Horse Palace.
Yep, it's right down the road.
I'm gonna tell you something. We had like 7 people sign up to be in the arena with us, hands-on, brought their horses. I think out of those 7, don't quote me, I'm trying to think. If somebody's listening that was there, I'm sorry if I mess it up. 5 of those was women.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Probably under 30.
Sure. Sure.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. If I was going to a driving event or something to compete, I would take my wife and them women now
Yeah.
over anybody.
Yeah.
Them women, there was a young lady there from here in Billings. She come in there with a Gypsy Vanner stud and a Gypsy Vanner gelding. Never drove much. She rode, she was knowledgeable.
Yeah.
That woman said she was determined. I'm gonna drive these horses.
Yeah.
She dug in. These ladies in today's industry, they're tough.
Oh man. Yeah. That's the thing is, you go out to some of these ranches and it's the full spectrum,
Yeah.
but don't underestimate, they're handy.
It's like my wife. If I'm gonna worm horses, I go straight to her.
Yeah.
Go worm them.
Yeah.
She can go right up to them and just perfect. She just got away with them. She's got away with horses.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
I don't.
Absolutely.
It's just the way it is. But
yeah,
this is a nice store though. I'm glad I found it. I appreciate the opportunity to come in here, and that's great.
really.
One thing I am noticing though here in Billings, going back to agriculture, the sugar beets
Yep.
are beautiful, the corn.
Yeah.
But in the past 10 years I've been coming out here, those fields are just going like this, shrinking.
Yep.
All out here, I don't know names, but you come out of Laurel,
Yep.
I think it's 401. There's a road that runs through Laurel, and you go through town by the cemetery and up
Oh,
and straight
going
out.
north there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then you can turn right at that little pavilion to come into Billings.
Yep.
That used to be a lot of farmland.
Yep.
Now it's just houses, houses, houses.
Yeah, and that's the sad part to a certain degree. I mean, but yeah, the west end of Billings and Laurel are basically connecting, and that was all prime irrigated farmland. And you know, unfortunately, how our culture and society goes is, you know, it's not easy being a rancher. It's not easy being a farmer.
That's true.
I mean, though it's razor thin margins, and it's only getting worse. And the cost to operate these farms and ranches has increased significantly. And I mean, right now the cattle prices are good, the horse market's good, but just the cost to operate is so much higher. And so then when you get a pretty cash offer,
Yeah.
you know, it's hard to sustain that.
I'd say
You know, and that's the sad part of seeing a lot of these ranches that have been 4th, 5th, 6th generations that aren't able to continue, and it's sad. And now there's those that are growing and going to fight through it, and it's not like this is the first time it's been difficult. But you know, we as a group and as an industry have to keep coming together and figuring out how we can sustain our way of life, because whether the people on the coast want to believe it or not, we feed America.
Ain't that the truth?
And so we're that backbone, and so we want to do our part, and however that looks like, to keep them working hard and supporting them and providing them with, you know, with products to help keep that way of life alive and thriving. Because at the end of the day, even if you've never been around a horse, you don't ever been to a ranch or anything like that, there's still something in every little boy and girl that wants to be cowboy.
There is.
You know, it's
I don't know.
just there.
It's there.
It's there, and we just got to keep pushing that down the road.
It's awesome, really, if you sit and think about it.
Yeah.
I like that statement you made. That's a good one.
Uh,
That could be a quote from you right there. There's still something in every little boy. That's good, man. That is true. That's good. You mentioned something earlier that I got a question about.
Okay.
I know some about saddles. We drive horses. We ain't riding horse people. You said something about Herman Oak.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
So it's just a type of leather. It's a higher quality. It's been tanned a little bit differently. It's a little thicker. That we found that's a high level of leather that really works well. It sustains longevity, but it's also malleable to the horse and to the rider for a little bit more comfort.
I'm glad I asked you because I thought you was talking about an oak tree.
Oh, yeah, sorry. No, it's just a type of leather that really high quality.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, let's do this. This is on video too, but I want you to get one of them saddles and bring it over here
Oh,
and kind of show the people on the YouTube channel and stuff your saddles.
absolutely.
Beautiful saddles, guys. I want to just show y'all a little bit and let you see one of his favorites maybe, or one he really likes or something.
I tell you what, this is a barrel saddle that we did for the YRA.
Oh, cool.
And so this is a barrel saddle. This one has a tooled leather inlaid seat. And you know, it's the barrel saddles. Said it's our custom tree, and we spent a lot of time trying to design that. You're not going to find a saddle that fits every horse. No. It's not possible. But we spent a lot of time designing the bars and the angles of our tree to try to fit the majority as best we can. We try to have that deep seat, you know, and that's the thing. The saddle depends on what the rider's doing. You know, if you're out on the ranch for 12 hours a day versus barrel racing or steer wrestling or roping or you're cutting, you know, you got to have the right tree for that process.
Yes, sir.
You know, I mean, you don't see a football player wearing basketball shoes. You know,
that's true.
There's different tools, and so, you know, we try to take pride in what we make and in providing various options. So, you know, we want people to ride the saddle for them, the horse, but they can get it customized to fit them.
What's the red on it here?
So that is a sponsor logo.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Rodeo rigs.
So somebody will get this.
Yep. They
coming real soon.
Yep. Yeah, they're banquets next week, so we've got 4 of them here. We're just finishing up the 5th one, and we'll take them over to them.
Guys, the tool, you can't see it in person, but if you're ever out in Billings, come by this place. This tooling is unreal. It's just beautiful.
Thank you.
It's really quality. You can tell. It's top notch. I like the rawhide stirrups too.
Yeah.
That's rawhide, right?
It is. Yep. Exactly.
Looks good.
Yeah. Well, that's fun.
Can they get online and see these?
Yeah, so we try to keep all of our we have our in-stock saddles online, and then we try to keep a lot of our saddles just so people can kind of see a variety of tooling patterns and seat patterns and things like that from our saddles. And you know, we used to have a map in here, and you know, we've shipped saddles to pretty much every state.
So they can order a saddle online?
Yep, they can order a saddle online. Then we've got all of our hats and boots and everything else, and we ship a lot of hats too.
Checked out your website last night. It's really good.
Yeah.
Y'all should, the blog, you got some good blogs on there.
Yep.
You should really look at the website. Tell them the website.
It's just ConnollySaddlery.com.
Better spell it out.
CONNOLLY and then SADDLERY.com.
My wife's a Connolly.
Oh, she was saying that yesterday.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
But it's CONLEY. So it's a little different.
Little spell difference there. Yeah.
That's good. So we talked about the saddles. Is there anything else you want to talk about that maybe people need to know about this place? Or
you know, like I said, I think we covered a lot. We're small. We're family owned, but we live the Western lifestyle, and we just want to keep supporting that. And what's interesting is folks from Kentucky showing up. We've now become friends. We got you a new hat, but you know, you come out here. You have a lot of business out here. You do a lot out here, and that's it's such a tight knit. It's such a small world, and that's what's fun is to be in here and to hear the stories and to meet people like you. And now I guarantee we'll run into each other a fair amount now.
Montana's been so good to us. I came out here, a little story. 2015.
Okay.
I started we used to sell all riding mules. I pushed them. I loved riding mules.
Yeah.
Still do. But unfortunately they're hard to find. And yeah, so we'll talk about that on another day. But 2015, I was working at the Ford dealer in Somerset, Kentucky.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, 2017. And I said to myself, I'm gonna take a little trip. I was selling so many mules, it was unreal.
Yeah.
And the manager walked in. I was selling mules at work a lot. I was doing a lot of mule stuff at work and really wasn't worried about the Ford company. And the manager walked in one day and said, "Are you going to sell them stupid crooked-legged donkeys, or are you going to work for me?" It hit me the wrong way.
I bet.
And I just stood up and said, "I'm going to sell them darn donkeys. I'm out of here." And I walked outside and realized I didn't own a vehicle. Cause I drove a demo so long, I didn't have my own vehicle. So I walked back in, bought a new truck, financed it through Ford, and then left. And that was the start of a journey. But I've been full-time at this since 2017.
Wow.
But I had a load of mules. I loaded them up in my stock trailer, 14 of them. Come out here on a wild hare with an Amish friend of mine, and we had nothing sold, not a single mule. And we went toward Missoula.
Yep.
You ever heard of the Potomac Valley up there?
Yep. Yep.
It's beautiful.
It is.
There's a ranch up there owned by Ted Turner Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled in that place and just went in there. Howdy, I'm Stephen Haste. I got a load of mules I'd like to show you. They looked at them all. They didn't buy none of them. But they said, we got people looking for mules. Let me give you these names and numbers. You call these people, and I'll have some other people come here and look at them. We stayed here 2 weeks and we sold that whole load.
No kidding.
Yes.
That was the
kickoff, really.
Yeah.
So been doing it since 2010, but that
Yeah.
really showed me, man, I can do this. I got something going here.
Yeah.
And since then, it's just went. The Lord's blessed us. He's been good to us.
Mm-hmm.
The good Lord has treated us with nothing but grace.
Yep.
We don't deserve it, but it's been good.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
I sure thank Him for everything He's done for the business and us.
I do too.
And without Him, we got nothing.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
you got some people coming in a Bronco.
Oh, all right.
So we're going to end this
Okay.
here.
Sounds good.
But
Thank
tell
you so
them
much.
we got the website. Everybody, you're welcome to come out here and visit him anytime.
Yep.
They treat you with kindness and a smile, and it's a super good store. We're going to get off because he's getting busy, but we're glad we got to do it. So
Appreciate it.
check us out on the web, www.drafthorsesandsmulesforsale.com. And if y'all need anything, give us a call. Until the next one, we'll see you soon.